Hello, hello. How is everyone? Can you hear me? Hello, Tracy. Hello, Marilyn. How is everyone? Yeah, I worked on a countdown. I think that's the second time I use this little countdown. I was not completely ready at 10:30, so I played around with the StreamYard music. Did you guys get to hear the music? Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna wait like maybe 1 minute to let people come in. It was a last minute live. Tracy, you kind of persuaded me to come live. Like, I was not planning on going live. It's raining here. Well, actually, it's ice rain. So this morning I had the last course of Luna to her first puppy courses. So it was graduation today. And 10 minutes before leaving, it started freezing rain and it started getting slippery. The course is about half an hour, 35 minutes away from my house. So I was kind of scared. Arrived just on time, but then in the parking lot, it was ice. So I couldn't back up. I couldn't get in. So I decided that in case my car was going to get slammed by another car, I decided I was going to park at the end of the parking lot, but then I had to walk from my car to the door. Well, Luna, poor thing, she was seeing all these puppies, all these dogs, and she wanted to go play. So she was like, "Mommy, hurry up, pick up the pace, come on, I want to go play." And she was pulling me, and I had to bring her back. But I did not fall flat on my butt. So that's a good thing. Definitely the snow has gone down a lot. So here during the night, it goes just below freezing, and then during the day, it goes up till probably an average of like 5 to 6, 7 degrees Celsius. So it is sap season for us. It's been at least, I would say, without exaggerating, it was probably sap season about a week and a half ago. But I tapped my trees 2 days ago. And yesterday I brought in 18 liters of sap, and I almost had, I think I had just over 500 mLs of lovely maple syrup. And I had 1 pound and 13 ounces of syrup that I will be able to add to my to my global gardening homesteading community. Weigh-in, I have to add that for yesterday's day. And if I can add a pound a day or a pound and a half a day or every 2 days of syrup, it would be nice, because I'm bringing in about half a pound a day of eggs, 4 eggs a day. And I'm due to harvest some little tomatoes. So I might have 2 pounds to add soon. I did. Prior that I adopted Luna, I was going live every Thursdays. And then when I arrived from the course with Luna, I arrive around 10:15, and I used to go live at 10. So it was kind of hectic. And the last 3 courses, I am mentally exhausted, and so is Luna. So today I might look a little bit lost. It was a very, very intense course. We were pushing the dogs to the limits. Like every commandment was, we were playing, and then we had to bring out Luna from the playing area, get our dogs into control, get them to sit, get them to lay down on the ground, and then turn, and then get back up, and then go back to play, and then run after your dog, and then bring them back out, bringing them out of bad behavior situations, and then getting back our control of the dog, and then making them sit. It was like one after the other, and we didn't stop. And Luna did great today, but I'm mentally shot. So this is why I have a second coffee. She is not pure husky. Her mom is a husky. The father, we suspect, is a German Shepherd. The color of Luna definitely suggests that the father was a German Shepherd, because she does not look at all fur-wise as her mom. You wish to, I was talking about, well, first of all, good morning. I'm going to try to say your name. My brain is shot. So Northern Berlin Acres. I forgot your name. Can you remind me your name, please? Okay, so we had 2 trainers. So there's a trainer that is dedicated for the entire class, and then there's a trainer that's dedicated for problematic dogs. My dog was not problematic. It's just she was very, very, very intense behavior-wise, and they needed to help me out to control her. So the second course, we had a lovely gentleman that was helping me out, and another owner with bad behaviors. I'm not talking about biting or standing up. I'm talking about barking, pulling, remaining calm, so that I can pay attention to the adult talking. The first 2 courses, Luna was like all over the place. I think I traumatized the poor lady. She actually stopped coming to the second course, so she wasn't there. Anyways, so this gentleman really helped me out with Luna, and today I was so happy. I got so many good comments from everyone there telling me that Luna and I have gone long way. So I'm so happy. We're still having some behavior issues, but I have to keep in mind that Luna was not trained properly when we rescued her. So we still have lots of training to do. This is why now I am going to a second course with her, And it's not going to be on Thursdays, it's going to be on the weekends. So there's no, if I continue doing the Thursday morning lives, they won't have an impact. So the course will be just fine. I'm going to go to the course, come back, eat dinner, and then I will be able to do my regular Sunday night live. It's going to be a little bit hectic for 5 weeks again, but Luna and I really, really need this, and she needs the training. So Maria, don't be mad at me if I don't remember your name. I'm terrible at names, very good with faces. Hello, Rams. No, we don't know. I know that we will not do competition. I don't have time for that. But I will bring Luna to every single course that I can. So we booked a second course for behavior. It's called, in French, it's obéissance. So it's obeying. It's not really the right I don't think it's the proper translation. But anyways, it's to sit, stand, giving us tools to deal with the bad behaviors as a pup. And as she grows older, I'm going to go to every single course I can go so that Luna can actually follow me around without barking, without pulling. And one day we truly hope that she will no longer be on a leash if ever we move. But we're going one step at a time. I am not putting pressure on myself. I'm not putting pressure on the dog because we want this to be fun. Well, I'm the one doing the training, but as a family, that's what we want. And if my memory is correct, you're part of Team Will It Grow, right? Obedience, that's what it's called. Thank you. Hello, Krabby. Venkat, I hope I'm saying the name right. Don't be mad at me if I don't remember your names. So Luna got a gift today. Where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, it's down there. So she got these. I took a picture. It's probably not. She moved so much. She was exhausted at the end of her course. Look at that. So we have a certificate, and we have like this, I don't know how you call this in English. There you go. There's my little Luna. She's so proud. Hold on, let me zoom in. And this thing on her nose, it's called a licou in French. It's exactly like a horse. You know that thing that's in their mouth? And when you slightly pull it on one side or the other or circle it around, it just takes the head and bring it in the direction. So it's not that thing to prevent her to bite or anything. It's just simply to control her head because she is overstimulated with everyone. Yeah, a horse bite, but it's made for dogs. And so what it does, her mouth can completely open, but a hand cannot fit. So she can eat like the first half of her mouth. She can, let's just say I can look at her teeth and all that, but she can't completely open it. But it's exactly like a horse. So it's not that thing that you see in muselière. It's not a, I'm losing my English today. Hold on, let me get the name of the licou so that I can give you the proper translation. It's called a head collar. It's gentle leader. Yeah, so it leads her head. So when I walk her in the street, she can't pull. So it's one of the things that Huskies, German Shepherds, and every single pulling dog, as soon as they're pups, we train them with that. And at one point, she won't need it. Okay, so I lost a couple of comments. Let me see. No worries. I try to behave as much as I can. I do not want to be in the eyes of the marshal. Hello, Joanne. The snow is getting soft here, but since it's cloudy and rainy, now it's like it kind of compacted, and now it's getting so that it's the ugly part of spring here. I don't know. I was going to ask you. So at the moment, I see that Melissa from I keep mixing up Marilyn's channel and Melissa's channel, Little House in the Big Woods. She is now a member, but I don't know if she's taken the free membership that you offered last Sunday or if she paid for one. I'm not seeing her in the chat. I would have to message her to find out. Yeah, I got a ribbon and I have like this certificate. Hello, Patrick. Hello, Jill. There's nothing in her mouth. It's just simply around her nose, and then it leads around the neck, so that when I need her to follow me, I just take like a little force, like if you would pick up something, so that her head comes back to me, so that her attention comes back to me, and she can't pull because of that. Because if she pulls, her head like always comes back to me. She's cute, husky markings with German. Yeah, her color is just gorgeous. So she has everything look-wise, color-wise of a German Shepherd. But there's another picture of her here. Like everything about her is a German Shepherd. But part of her behind, you can see like the white of the husky. She has the teeth of a husky. I'm supposed to brush her teeth, and I'm terrified to put my hands in there. They're like forks. Very, very, very intense forks. I try to take pictures and film her as much as I can, and she's growing fast. I just got in the chat with shaking the head makes it better. Okay, sorry. If you're not in context, I was talking about my dog and the gentle litter that I have purchased. Well, as the first course that I was there, the trainers suggested that it would be a good thing. It teaches her she's always rewarded for good behavior. So every single time she gives me a good behavior, I recompense her. And when she gives me bad behavior, I also have to do something. Like there's a sound that I keep doing all the time. And she's starting to pick up. When I do that sound, she backs up, and then she waits for a command, and then I ask her to sit, lay, give the paw, whatever, and then she's recompensed. So it's positive training, and it's getting there. Okay, so Patrick, you're Team Wilson. So you're part of the Misfits. Team Aquarius. Okay, so I added an icon for the members. There's a frog. If you want to try it out. It's like if her bones are made of a husky. So her mother is a very tiny husky. I saw the mother. She's not tall on her feet. And her features are smaller than the regular breed. So I'm wondering if the husky, the mom, was not mixed with something else. Or if she was just the mutt of the litter. Yes, the frog, yes. The Frog, frog, frog. Woohoo! So I have the tomato, I have the frog, and I have the squash. Woohoo! Yep. I can't see it because I'm watching this on StreamYard, but I'm probably going to see it when well, you guys probably see it. So, Tammy, Remy, Maria, I hope I'm saying it right. Did you start weighing in your stuff? We are at day 4. Anything going on weight-wise? Squash Club forever. Of course. If ever we build a community of homesteaders, squash has to be in that name somewhere, even though you don't like squash. Squash the the thumbs up, of course. Chickens are, well, chickens, I have about 3-4 eggs of my chickens, but I think my ducks are like on strike because they were laying 1 or 2 eggs a day, and now unless they're playing an Easter hunt, like an Easter egg hunt for me, and I can't find them, or I have chickens that are eating it. But I plan on going in the coop. Like, we've cleaned out the entire coop over the weekend and like put some new bedding for them, a new installation for their feed. The feed is no longer outside; it's inside. And the water is outside, so that they are forced to go outside a little bit. Like, it's just outside the door, because it's like I had a duck that sprained its leg on a patch of ice, and it was very hard for that duck to actually get back on its feet. So that's why I kind of keep the feed inside and put like the water just outside, so they have a little bit of exercise. Sprouts, yeah, I should do that. I should definitely do that. Sprouts or microgreens. I have the trays and everything. Oh, and I forgot to say that we received this from the course. So I'm having coffee and a Kit Kat morning with you guys. Cheers. Awesome. Remember, every ounce counts. Same here. I think I have, without count, like, yeah, yesterday I did 1.13 ounces of maple syrup. I have to add that. And I had, before that, my last entering, I had 1.62 pounds. So 1 pound, it's 1.62. So it's 1 pound, 6 ounces, I guess. Yeah. Okay. We're rookies, so I'm gonna celebrate my 2 pounds. Well, my laying hens are very, very old. My original flock is now 6 years old, and I'm starting to lose them. We had one die of old age. There was nothing wrong with her. Same thing last year. We always lose about one with no apparent reason. And I started reading in between 5 and 7 year old, they die of old age. So I made myself a gift. I bought 2 hens at the co-op. They're gray. So they're co-op breed, but they're gray, and they're supposed to be white layers with speckles on them. So I'm hoping they're the peach Easter eggers. I have to call the co-op to make sure. And I had 4 chicks that were given to me. Then we identified one rooster and I gave it back, and she brought me back a baby. And then the 4 of them were creating chaos in my living room, so I brought them outside. Then I identified another rooster, I brought it in, and then I had something entering my coop and killed 2. There was feathers everywhere, and so I lost 2. So I have now a rooster and probably a hen. So I'll be adding probably, I don't know how I will be able to add just 1 hen to my flock. Last time I did that, it was horrific. The pecking order was horrible. So I was thinking to introduce the hen that I have now and the 2 new hens all at the same time. And they're probably going to be all at the same size. But I'm receiving those hens in May. But keeping birds inside is not my favorite thing. So I don't know. We have to come up with some ideas. She said that she was going to come. The lady that gave me the chicks said she was going to bring the rooster and bring me back another female. But we're not there yet. But with those 2 new laying hens, I probably will have 6 eggs a day. And my ducks are getting older, so same thing. They are in their prime, like the last years of like laying a lot, and then I'm gonna have to decide what I'm gonna do with the ducks. I've been doing lentil sprouts for the chickens. Can't count them since the roosters are. I am actually using up. I was cleaning out my pantry, and I have some like old lentils and peas that I am sprouting, and I'm just, instead of like letting them on my pantry shelves, I'm making them germinate and giving them to my chickens. At least someone's gonna eat it, because my kids, every time I put lentils, they're like, I hate lentils. So, hello, Star Homestead, India. I'm sorry. Hello, Caitlin. Awesome. Awesome. Remember, it's just the 4th day. Like okay, so some of you guys are like a month after me. So remember, in July, you're going to start harvesting stuff. And you're probably going to go, oh my God, I have 30 pounds to enter. I have no idea what to do, and I don't know what to do with them. So enjoy these moments of like, I only have 2 pounds, because when the craziness starts and you're like, okay, so I have 50 pounds of tomatoes, I have 10 pounds of peppers, and I have this much of this much of that, and your entire kitchen table is full of produce, and you're like shaking your head, and you're going to go, oh my God, what am I going to do with all of this? What have I, all those things. I have those moments at least a couple of times during the season. I actually had a moment yesterday talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, we're crazy. We're literally crazy. Like, I am sowing so much food from seed. Most of my food will come from seeds that I've sown. I rarely buy nursery plants. And if I do, it's because I lost like peppers or poor germination, or because of my Brussels sprout didn't do well, or stuff like that. But I would say 95% of the plants are grown from seed. So that's a lot of space that I need. And I was looking at my sowing calendar yesterday and how many things I had to sow. I was telling my friend, we're crazy. We're literally crazy, because we're going to have to maintain those garden beds, open the garden, maintain those garden beds, weed the garden beds, amend the garden beds, harvest. And then once we harvest, we have to figure out what we want to do with all this food. So Overflowing fridge, of course. It does happen a couple of times in the season, but I try to process as soon as I can. So food rarely stays more than 24 hours on my counter. Tops is like 48 hours, because past that, um they're not in the, like, they're past, because I harvest them super ripe. Some tomatoes in the beginning, when I don't have enough, I harvest them just before they're prime, just before like fully ripe, so that they can ripen on the counter. But during the summer, when I'm harvesting all my paste tomatoes and I have like 30 pounds coming out, they're all ready. So if they're too ripe and I stack them on top of each other, I have nightmares being created. It's like a nightmare ready to be arriving if I do that. Anyone sowing seeds? So, what did I sow this week? I sowed a lot of seeds. I think I sown 7 trays. No, probably more than that. So my hot peppers are started. Roselle is started. Artichokes, hyssop, eggplant. I keep doing this to myself. I say that I'm going to bring my notes, and I never do. What else did I sow? Flowers. No, that was before. That was last week. Okay, so I sowed all my broccoli, all my cauliflowers, all my cabbages, all my Asian cabbages. I sowed trials for the tunnel. So I have peas, beans, bush beans, and squash. And I also sowed 3 older seeds, 3 seeds of pepper. So pepper just germinated. Peas are almost all germinated. And I'm waiting for the pumpkin, summer squash to germinate in the beans. All of that, those 4 are going in the tunnel 1 month prior to what I would normally do. So normally bush beans, I sow them on, I transplant them outside on May 25th. Correction, I sow them outside on May 25th, and they suggest to sow it. But now I decided I was going to push the tunnel to the max and see if I can get peas, beans, summer squash in the tunnel mid-May. So you sold peppers. Hello, time to shine, homestead. How are you? Okay, so Roselle, I got mine at Jardin Les Coumens. I'm going to write it in the comments. So Jardin Les Coumens. It's a Quebec site in Canada. The other one I got is Solana Seeds. And the other one is Gaia, I think. Okay, let me just go check quick if Gaia is where so I can't see you guys. I think it's Gaia. I'm never pronouncing it right. Marilyn, are you here? If you're here, I don't know how to write Gaia. Let me see. I know I had their site saved somewhere. Gaia. Okay, so it's Gaia. Feet. Let me see if I can find. It's organic seeds, and I think they have roselle. They do. And is it in stock? It's in stock. Those are all Canadian companies. So I don't remember where you are located, Maria. Yeah, I was just asking if you know how to write Gaia. What else did I sow? Yesterday I sowed my pak choys, my bok choys, my spinach, bok choy, spinach, 2 trays. I sowed something else. Kohlrabi. So all of that is sown. And today I have a list of stuff like crazy that I have to sow. I'm trying to sow a little bit every day, and I'm utilizing my tunnel because right now we changed my seed station into a new area, and instead of having 3 shelves, I have 2. So right now in the tunnel, I have 7 trays that are doing their stuff, and 3 that are in acclimation. They spend the entire night outside, and they did great. So I was like so scared. Yesterday, my husband built me like a shelf that's on, like, instead of putting them on the ground in the tunnel, he built me a shelf for 3 trays, and I put a dome and 2 layers of row covers. And the coldest it got was, okay, so the coldest it got was minus, wait. The coldest it got was minus 0 well, it was almost 0 degrees, but 0.3. So it was just a little bit freezing. So they did great. They have 1 more night of acclimation before I can transplant them. So I have 3 trays that is going in the tunnel. And I am sowing some radishes and little turnips, all in the hopes that I'm going to harvest food 1 month in advance, and I'm going to pinch the butt of weight-wise with Remy, because he's keep telling me, oh, I have 85 pounds. I want to catch him. The snow is definitely melting. If you have people in your area that, especially in agriculture areas, it happens a lot. Temple structures, if they're not installed well, the wind will pick them up and massacre them. So my first temple structure was just a structure, and we just, it's not even greenhouse material that's on my my tunnel. We bought the roll for $70. It's at a hardware store. It's the transparent plastic that you put in front of the when you isolate your house. That's what we're using. It's not the ideal, But when we did the tunnel, we were very limited financially, and everything had to be used free or almost free. And we picked up a couple of windows in the garbage, and we created this temple converted structure. The only thing we had to pay was for with screws. But there is one video that Mallory did from Quebec Homestead, and she did not do uh, a high tunnel or a greenhouse. She did a caterpillar tunnel. So she used a temple converted structure back to back. So she has two 20 feet long structures, leveled everything, anchored everything, and then she ordered greenhouse plastic. And all she did is she tied it in front, tied it in the back, and then it just slides all the way down to the bottom. And she has those crisscross things going on like this. And then when she raises the side, the plastic goes. I know I'm visual, so I'm not explaining it very well, but there is a video of Quebec Homestead that she shows how she did her caterpillar tunnel with two converted temple structures. In the temple structures, we bought ours. One needed some replacement, and the other we paid $40 for it, and it needed to be straightened because we bought it from someone that it went flying and it was crooked. So there is ways to get a tunnel going on or a greenhouse for cheap. Yeah, radishes don't take long, and I bought seeds from Baker Creek. Saxa? I think it's Saxa. And I think it's 20 days. Let me check. Saxa, they are... It doesn't say. Why not? Why does it not say? It used to say how many days it was. 18 days. So I bought Saxa, and it says it's ready in 18 days. So I'm going to say maybe 20, 22, 23 days because the sun is not completely what it should be in the spring. But I'm going to sow loads of radishes so that I can wade in. A new woman to Newfoundland was asking on a greenhouse Facebook group if she should order a greenhouse kit rated for... No. No. High winds are your worst enemy. And greenhouse, like the kits, bless them because some people are able to have that. But if you're in an agriculture area or you're in the boons, if a high wind picks up, it needs to be anchored down. Like, even probably if it's anchored down, the winds are still gonna play around with it. I'm sure that if I would install a kit here, even though I'm in the village and I'm trying to create a wall to hold off the wind, because when we have high winds here, like, I'm praying that my trees don't fall, that the roofing doesn't pop out, because when it winds here, it winds hard. If I could, I think I would invest time and money on a window greenhouse. That would be amazing. Like, I would do the siding in the back to save time. I would do old doors, sliding doors, patio doors, and the front I would do like cute wood doors, wood windows, and I would paint them. And but I don't have the space here. But it would be, even my husband wants to build one, but I would have to sacrifice an area that the kids enjoy playing. So it's either that or I have to sacrifice 2 raised bed gardens. And my raised beds are 4 feet by 16 feet. So, and then that means I could probably live without one. But that means I'm going to have to take one and like bring it in front of all the others. So that would be a lot of the logistics. I love to eat radishes with salt. I've pickled. They're good, but I find that if I let them grow too much, they have like this strong taste I don't like. I was told that roasting them is awesome. One guy said it tried anchoring one to a concrete foundation. The only thing that stayed put was the piece of oh God. And those kits are expensive. He tried. Definitely he tried. Macaroni salads. Oh, true, I did that. When they're small, very small, I did put them to my cold salad. I do have a video of that salad that we do very often in the summer. I think if they have too much heat, that's when they become too strong. Hello, Wild Edibles. So, are you weighing in anything at this moment? Because I think those kits that people buy online, they're made with material that is light so that they can be shipped. They're probably like made of alloy, like aluminum alloy and stuff like that, so they don't rust. Coated with a special paint for it not to rust. But they're not made to withstand that strong wind. They're very tempting. Very, very tempting to buy. But what I saw, like where we are at, there's a parking lot on the other side of the street. And I saw a tempo in 5 seconds. Thank God we have a hedge, like there's a cedar hedge. I saw that tempo like lift on its butt. Thank God that tempo structure was tied down. Because I would have that tempo run in my backyard. Like cross the street and in my backyard. And potentially like devastating my in-ground garden. And then on its way, ripping everything and then reach the house, like from the back. So they know, the people that are installing, there's like a couple of tempo structures in front, in the parking lot across the street. They know that they have to tie them down. And it's anchored. So the back end of the tempo structures are anchored in the ground so that if ever they fall on their butt, they're going to stay like this and like lean on the hedge and stay there. The wind is probably going to make them all crooked and all of that, but at least it's going to stay there. So if you have a tempo or a greenhouse and you're planning on installing it this year, make sure that you anchor it. 3 pounds. Nice. That is nice. I don't have dairy animals. Angie from Me and You Acres tempt me to, if ever we move, to have dairy goats. But we're not there yet. Awesome. I wanted to try sowing carrots in the tunnel. But we had a friend that decided to use my tunnel and do his poop. My neighbor's cats, 2 cats. There was a rip on the side of the door that I did not see. And one day I went to inspect my tunnel and something was like moving around. And I'm like, you're not supposed to be there. So I cannot put any root vegetables this year in the tunnel. I'm going to have to put them in my containers. Fish, nice. A pig. What are you worried about? I worry about my food forest this year doing it on its own. What are you worried about? Oh no. That's good. That's not where it's supposed to be. We can put it in a garden at the farm, but I'm worried about all the animals in it. Yeah, true. Since I'm in a village, I don't have that much wildlife. But an electric fence around, like, if ever I move from here and the logistics of fencing it in permanently is too complicated, I would invest in an electric fence to save at least from the small critters. It's not supposed to go in a tree, that's for sure. Hello, coach. This is Robert. It's my coach for Team Aquarius. My food forest at home will be on its own this summer because I don't have much time. Okay, so you have 2 locations that you grow, if I'm understanding correctly. Yeah. You can go, if people are looking for smaller structures for peppers, there are so many options that you can do with electrical conduits. And you just have to make sure to, when it's like really, really, really warm, that there is a good airflow circulation going on, because you don't want fungus to develop on the leaves. So you could probably do a mini caterpillar tunnel with some electrical conduits, and then just make sure that the front and the back is open. And once you reach that July heat, I would just bring up the sides a little bit to make sure that there's good airflow going on. And at night, if the temperatures are dropping too much, you can like close it up. That's what I do with my tunnel. As soon as I have nights that are over 20 degrees Celsius, my tunnel is open 24/7. As soon as the nights get chilly, during the day, I pull up the sides of the tunnel. And when I see the temperature, like I have a gauge I don't have with me, I did show it on a prior video. As soon as I see that the gauge says like 21, 20, and it goes down to 19, this is where I'm going to go outside, close up the window of the door, close the sides, and close the back windows. And then in the morning, I make sure that I open it as soon as I can, because you don't want that heat to like bring up at 40 when everything is closed. That's one thing I have a hard time gauging, is when you're like in between seasons. Like the other day, my tunnel reached 30 degrees Celsius. That's July temperatures. And I had all my seedlings in there, and I had some of my spinach bolt because I was not looking at my temperature gauge that much. And I had to open the back door and the front door to make sure that there was good airflow so that I could bring down the temperatures. So when you are transitioning from May to June, like during the day, if it's 20 outside, it's going to be 30 degrees Celsius in the tunnel. You're always going to have at least 5 to 10 degrees more. So like a good circulation is always good to maintain it, especially if you have cold hardy crops in there. Because if it reaches 30 degrees Celsius, they're going to bolt. They're not even going to produce a head. I just hello, Belinda and Chuck. Canning some beef. Yeah, I have 7 people here, and I have canners here. What do you guys have as a meat grinder? I'm not looking for the manual meat grinder. I would prefer a stainless steel grinder because I want to empty out my pork freezer. I want to cube meat. I want to hamburger meat and can it. But I have a plastic hand meat grinder, and there's more swears coming out of my mouth than pounds of meat as I am doing it. I know it sounds funny, but it was like a nightmare. And I just did 2 pounds of turkey, and it was a nightmare. So if you have a good suggestion for a meat grinder, put them in the description, please. But it's been 50 years plus. Wow. That's something this is like my next focus. We never really knew this was for a forever home, so I never invested in a food forest. I think this year I'm going to do it. I wanted to put benches and fruits around the property. So let's just say that I don't eat them. At least the wildlife, the birds, will eat that instead of my garden. And it's going to bring in a lot of pollinators. And if I do like a circumference of my land and there's all these fruits, they're always going to come back, especially the bees. I would love to have a food forest. That's awesome. I would love to have 10 minutes away tops a second land that I would rent for the season. I would love that. I would have all my squash there, all my cucumbers, my melons, all of that. And I would create like this temple structure thing going on. I would have so much fun. Tomatoes also, so that I can grow other stuff here. But I did not find anything for rent yet. I know, like I see those cast iron hand thing going on. I think they would be good for less, like about 5 pounds tops. But I'm looking for like probably 20 pounds of turkey because I want to do that meat, that breakfast sausage patty that Rem's Homestead suggested. Lem. I keep hearing Lem. Lem, Cabela's carnivore. Lems are expensive. Same thing with the carnival one. There is the carnival on the Canadian website is the 3/4 of horsepower is 649 or 699 plus tax. I want to do an investment because I bought a cheaper tomato sauce maker and I only got 2 seasons out of it. I don't want that. I want to have a forever or like 10 years meat grinder. Nice. Did you harvest from that tree? I wanted to try that one, but my KitchenAid is so old and the motor already, like I had 2 batches of bread that I did and the motor started to smell. So, from the comments that I'm reading, it requires a lot from the motor to mince, to grind the meat. So if my motor's already tired, I think I would kill it if I would do it with the KitchenAid. I did think of that one first. I can't click on this, Tracy. Can you send it to me by message? I have the mixer thinking about the grinder, but the KitchenAid metal grinder is an expensive attachment. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for popping in. Rice flour. So you have the Nutrimill? Nice. So you just started your onion seedlings? That's something I would like to add here. My neighbor has a crabapple tree. I am hoping to do some cuttings. I just have to figure out when I can do the cuttings. Do you know? Hello, Dave. So my food forest this year, I am adding haskap. So a friend of mine ordered to have free shipping a lot of haskap on her orders, and I have 5 plants that are coming here. They probably will not produce fruits this year. And I'm doing some research right now to figure out if I'm potting them in 3-gallon buckets or 5-gallon buckets, so that if ever I move, I will just bring them with me. So I'm going to have some in ground and some in buckets. It's going to be a lot of maintenance, but since we've been talking back and forth about moving, if I plant them, I would have to do cuttings or just reinvest where we move and have more value to this property. But where did the comments go? Okay. Okay, so the KitchenAid one. Okay. My KitchenAid was my gift when I moved out of the house. I moved out. I was 24, 25. Yeah. So it's been a while. it's getting old. I did say my age in a previous live, so whoever knows, you will figure out how old my KitchenAid is. Before leaves come is the best time. So May would be the best time to take cuttings from the crabapple tree. Now it would be too early, right? Awesome. So the 5-inch, yeah. Well, anyways, the seedling, I got seedlings last year. They were a year old. They are in 3-gallon buckets right now. I'm going to up pot these in 5 gallons in the spring and probably transplant them in the fall because I have so many things to do. So I have 3 indigo gems. I know 2 is alive. I have a blueberry plant that my cuttings worked. And my Aurora, which is a pollinator variety, was a cutting from a friend because mine died in my order, is not looking very well. So if my haskap produced fruit this year, I don't have a pollinator. And in the 5 plants that my friend ordered for me, I probably will go pick it up in May or June. And I'm hoping that my haskap will produce something this year. Because it is technically year 2 for them. Bye, Jill. Ooh, nice. So my neighbor in front has a crabapple tree, and I have an apple tree. My neighbor had an apple tree. Last year, her apple tree fell during high winds. So I no longer have apples in mine. But my neighbor in front has a crabapple, which I find weird because it should cross-pollinate. So I'm hoping, I think I'm going to go at her house. She does not pick up her apples. By Tammy, I'm going to either look for little babies or ask her if I can have a cutting. Earlier the better. Now till May. Okay, let me take this down. I'm going to take a picture of this so that I can put it in my notes. Okay. Yeah, start them in 3, then I'll pot them. Yeah, okay. I'll do that. I do have some strawberries that last year was year 2. So this year should be their best year. I have to paint little red stones to discourage the birds. And I am hoping to have time to add a netting to my strawberries this year because, I want to weigh them. Kent strawberries are the variety I chose is Kent. They're big. So if I can get like a couple of handfuls here and there without the kids eating them before I weigh them, it would be fun. We prefer... Yes, sir, still here. Just quiet. We prefer pounds. Yeah, I started weighing my things in grams. And I was like telling Remy, look, I have this how many grams. And then he quickly told me that pounds were better. So I converted everything into pounds. If they bloom at the same time, sometimes they don't have flowers open at the same time. Different. True. I didn't think of that. I think we have Macintosh here. I'm trying to remember. My tree is in flowers very early summer. And I think he's in flower. Well, my neighbor's tree is in flower later. That's probably why. Okay. Okay, my kids are young. Trying to make them sit on the couch for more than 5 minutes in the summer is like nearly impossible. So I might have to weigh myself before I go in the garden a couple of times, then because I go snack in the garden all the time. There's a couple of things in the garden I will never be able to weigh, and that's peas, snap peas. I am never able to go outside, harvest some peas, and bring them back inside. I can't. It just doesn't work. You can graft together. Yeah, I saw that. So do a cutting and then graft it later. So I would have a crabapple tree in my Macintosh. Okay. I also am never able to weigh my snack peppers. You know those lunchbox mini peppers? I harvest them, put them in my basket, and then for some reason, there's never any when I walk in the house. They're all gone. The kids pass next to my basket. I snack on it. And then when I get in the house, I was like, oh, I'm going to do a salad because the lunchbox peppers, I find they're a little bit more sugary. So those are the ones that I put in the salad, and I never bring them inside the house. I don't know why. Take branches of each and stick them together. Mix up. I don't have okay. Well, first of all, I have to get a couple of branches from my neighbor and then get them to do something. And then maybe in the next 5 years, I will have something going on with that tree. Cuttings from a tree is fun and exciting, but it does take time to establish. Like I have Nearby there's a mulberry tree, and I picked up some mulberries that were on the ground, and I put them in the freezer, and I tried to get them to germinate, but I didn't work. But then I looked at the tree, and that tree's as big as my house. Probably exaggerating, but I'm like, if ever I get this thing to grow, I don't have any place to put it because it's going to create too much shadows to my garden. And Mac in the crab, then you should have good. I just like how you said that, Mac in the crab. Well, I'm going to start with the cuttings. If I'm looking in front, like I can't even access a tree right now. So cuttings is definitely faster than seeds. Yeah. Seeds, I think it's like 7 years. So if ever I move from here, I am taking, I should do this year. We have 2 maple trees, and every year I keep destroying the little babies. So I think I'm going to rock around my property and pick up those little, there's seedlings already created year after year, especially around my fence. This year we have to take some down and remove the roots. If I can save it, I think I'm going to up pot it. And if ever we move, I'm going to bring it with me because it's such a blessing to have 2 established trees here. That gives me so much sap that I would like to continue doing that when we move. It's obviously going to take a long time, but it's like sowing hope. If you go with logistics, if you go with example, asparagus from seeds, when you buy a crown, it's between year 2 and 3, and it should give you food between year 5 and 7. When you start them from seed, it takes up to 7 years for them to produce, or like between 3 and 7 years before it can start producing reasonable size asparagus. So if you compare that to a tree, if you start a tree from seed, it's probably going to take 2 to 3 years to look like a tree. And then getting established is probably going to take 5 more years. So I think starting a tree by seed, you probably have a very long time to go, unless it's a dwarf tree. Yes, it should echo from what I've heard. What's echo? Eight years. Wow. Okay. So if ever I do have the opportunity of moving, I think I'm going to go 2 ways. I'm going to do the experience myself to have the opportunity of growing food from seed or from a cutting and have that super amazing feeling that I did that. And I would order 2-3-year-old dwarf trees from a nursery and get it delivered to my house so that I can see both. Wow. Okay. Yes, cuttings are the age of the tree it came from. Oh! Okay, I think I'm going to drink more coffee. I didn't pick that up. Sorry. One more coffee. You should see Luna. Hard at work. Sleeping. I said her name. She's not even moving. I think we're going to sleep well tonight, both of us. Okay, so now I have to find cuttings from my neighbor's tree, and in the hopes that in the 5 years I have something going on. And I have to get myself 5-gallon, not buckets, but 5-gallon buckets that are black so that I can have something going on. So if ever I keep saying this. If ever I move, I might have to do an open trailer with all my trees, all my bushes, and all of that, and like protect them from all that hard wind. Take the small roads to our new home, and be worried for a couple of hours that they all survive. Same thing with my mason jars. I think those are going to be the two things that I'm going to be the most. Well, actually, there would be a third one. My hens, if we move them. So I would probably like be so stressed to move chickens. Bye, Maria. Chickens, my mason jars, and all my seedlings. Well, trees, established bush trees, and all of that. I think I would be very anxious when we move them. I have such a hard time with comments these days with StreamYard. Kind of lose. Okay. Yeah. Black ones and white ones, I think. And I still don't know where I'm going to put them. I know that I want to create a food forest in the back of my plot. And currant is one of the ones that I want to put there with gooseberries. Because and blackberries, because I was told that they can support and endure more shade. Because everywhere I go in the forest, there's currants and wild berries that grow, and there's almost no sun. Obviously, they're not going to have a lot of fruits, but I want to create that barrier in the back of our house so that I can have some privacy. And I want to create like this beautiful environment in the like on the backside of our property. What we would love is to have like this wild thing going on, that, you know, those wildflowers that are knee high. There's daisy, there's echinacea, there's poppies. And it's like just a little area. It's about 20 feet by maybe 10 feet. Like I would put that, and then a food forest. Well, food forest. It's like it would be food berries that I would put on the limit of our land. I am supposed to do cuttings for my chocolate mint, but I can't remember it's for whom. I know Remy wants one. But I forgot who else. I had like notes, but I lost them. So if ever, I think it was you. Is it you that asked me for mint, Marilyn? Well, guys, I'm going to wait. I have 3 colors. Okay, so you have the black, the white, and the red. No mint for you. Okay, so it must be Lynn then. I know someone else than Remy asked me for my chocolate mint, but I can't remember whom. I would love to have if you can do cuttings from all of them, it'd be nice. Because I did so many cuttings from Annie's property, and I just up-potted them into 3-gallon buckets and hoping for the best, because I couldn't take care of it last year, and I'm hoping that at least 50% survived. Some of them are gooseberries, some of them are currants, but you can't remember which color they are. But since I'm like creating that barrier at the end of my property, it would be fun to have like a mix and match. But I'm really curious about the black ones and the white ones. But there is 2 that I would really, really want to add to that food forest. It would be the watermelon berry. I'm still looking for it. And the loganberry, which is the smaller version of the mulberry. Sure. I have 1 plant of gooseberry, I also have wild gooseberry. Like there's like this. I can't remember what's it called. Annie gave me some of them. There's like this like teeth on it on the gooseberry. But sure, the more I can fit the first year, the better it is. So that means in the next 2-3 years, I'll be able to sit down on a bench and enjoy all those berries and think of you guys. Thank you, Tracy. I'm going to have to let you guys go unless you guys have questions for me. I have to eat and I have to sow tons of seeds and take care of all those seedlings that are requiring my attention. Is there any questions? Just did not had time to do the cuttings in the fall, so I hope snow will melt enough. Well, if it's not possible, don't stress out. Yes! Well, Robert, I don't know if you were there when I said that. You know that, you're in down south, you have a lot of heat. We're full of snow here. I sowed some peas, some bush beans, and some summer squash for my tunnel. I have high hopes that there's going to be a couple pounds with that. And I'll be able to say that a Canadian grew a lot of food when you guys down south are already sowing all those tomato seeds and harvesting lots of foods before us. Hello, Danielle. Yeah, every year this happens to me. Every year, like we start slow with onion seeds, celery seeds, chives, garlic chives, and then onions leek and stuff like that. But then we have like that period of like nothing unless you grow perennials and flowers. So, and then mid-March happens for zone 5, and then you have to sow a ton, like peppers, eggplants, tomatoes, most of the flowers, most of the, like there's tomatoes, cabbages, lettuce. March is an intense month. And then you have to take care and maintain all of that. And I have to open my garden. Reshaped my in-ground garden, add a garden bed, broad fork my entire raised bed and my entire in-ground garden, add some compost, add some layers of amendment, and then I have to be ready to transplant my brassica family, which is cauliflower, broccoli, and cabbages, and pak choy, between April 20th and April 30th. And that means in that week, I have to transplant all of that. I also have to sow peas, carrots, beets, turnips, dill. There's like so many things I have to direct seed. So April 20th to April 30th is going to be like intense for us. So it sneaks up on us quite fast. And then you have that down period at the end of month of April, and then you have May, and then you have some sort of like down period till the end of the month of May for zone 5. And then the hectic starts again when you have to transplant all the warm loving plants like tomatoes, eggplants, and all the rest. So it is intense. Hello, Marcy. Yes, so I did not weigh today's food. So I have 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 eggs, 4 little tomatoes, and 1 pound and 13 ounces of maple syrup. So I had 1.62 pounds plus 1 pound and 13 ounces. So I should be close to 3 pounds by now. But I didn't go and get the eggs this morning. So I I'm doing great. I am so happy. I know that I'm a rookie and I don't have the privilege of having some weight from my previous season, but I'm very happy with what I have right now. And I'm really looking forward to the peas, the beans, and the summer squash 1 month earlier. It would be fun to have all of that. Okay. I cannot, for the life of me, grow inside my house kale, cabbages, broccoli, and cauliflower. It does not work. I tried for my tunnel. All my brassicas died on me. They germinate. They have those two leaves, and then I have no idea what I do. They get just a little bit leggy, just not that much. Like I could like up pot them and just like put them a little bit lower. So it's not that bad. And then they die. So it's either I water too much, it's too warm. I really don't know. So this I will be doing a video about what I'm doing this year, but I took notes from last year. Last year I had a humongous failure of my brassicas, all of them. And then I think it was Marilyn that suggested something, and then Frankie Lou suggested something else, and I tried both. So I did the winter sowing, that was Frankie Lou, and then Marilyn said to sow them in my tunnel, which I did. So in the beginning of the month of April, I sowed some seeds and left the trays in the tunnel with 2 layers of row covers. Those were the best looking cabbage seedlings I ever had. The version of Frankie Lou, they did great with the winter sowing, but they were a bit leggy, and when I came to transplant them, most of them went to seed. So I think that inside that little bucket, it got too warm. They didn't like it. But overall, like they did germinate, they did do what they were supposed to do, and they did not die. So this year, I'm combining those two methods, and I'm trying something out in my tunnel. So I sowed them, and I'm not leaving them at the moment until they germinate outside. So right now, I'm bringing them outside during the day, bringing them inside at night. Once they germinate and are established, they will stay outside. I have no idea if it's going to work, but that's what I'll be doing. So they're either under domes or under row covers, 2 layers of row covers. And if it reaches, like right now in the tunnel under row covers, it's what's it? Okay, so right now under the row covers, they're 9 degrees Celsius. So I will be able to remove the row covers and just let them do their thing. Right now it's cloudy, so it's perfect to let them acclimated outside the entire day. And it was cloudy for a couple of days, so the ones I have germinated, I can just leave them there. If they pop out inside, I'm going to put them in the shadiest part of my... sorry, I'm going to sneeze. So sorry. I'm going to put them in a shaded area of the tunnel so that they can get acclimated, and then after a couple of days, I put them full sun. They don't like heat at all. Sorry, I had someone honking in front of my house. So they don't like any heat. So don't put them on seed mat. If your area is like over 25 degrees Celsius, they don't like that. They prefer cooler temperatures. So I don't know if your tunnel is finished construction, like if you finish the construction of your greenhouse that you want to do. I would put them there if you can. Yeah, I have to do that the same thing. If you don't have, I can't remember if it's you or Melissa that's creating a greenhouse. If you can't, and you want, there's a lady that I saw that's using domes and what do you call it, trays, plug trays, 50 plug trays, and she's sowing all her brassicas and all cold-hardy crops, putting the dome inside her tunnel, and she's using that as like a, instead of doing the bringing back at night, bringing back outside during the morning, she's just using the dome and the trays, and she's just doing that winter sowing with the trays in 50 cell tray. I haven't personally tried it. If this method this year works, I'm probably going to try doing winter sowing with 50 plug trays next year with domes. That's probably what I'll try. Like half of it's going to be done the way that I did this year because I'm having success at the moment. My Chinese cabbages are looking what they're supposed to look like. They're not leggy. My regular cabbages are just a little bit leggy. I don't know why, but nothing to worry about. As soon as they have that first true leaf, this is where I'm gonna scream success, and I probably would have found the way of growing brassicas, cauliflower, broccoli, cabbages, bok choy, and all of that this way. I'm no longer doing it inside. It's finished. I have to figure out what I'm doing wrong, because if I can grow 1 month prior than my growing zone, I would love to have broccoli and cauliflowers harvested in the month of May. But I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong inside, because the lights they're good grow lights. I'm using the sound blasters, which are very good, but they're not LEDs. They're T5s. So they do have some heat. So I think I'm going to convert one growing shelf in. I'm going to buy the conversion kits to have the sound blaster LEDs to see if it's just that, and have like one fan on them that has like this little mist of wind so that they can keep I think it's 15 or 18 degrees Celsius that they enjoy. Haven't been able to get to the area, still a foot of snow. Yeah, I had to dig out my door to have access to the tunnel. Okay. So, from what I'm reading, I'm just passing the information. I have no idea what I am doing wrong. So they hate the heat. So if your lights are LEDs, they don't generate heat. If your lights are T5s, they will generate heat, and they don't like the fluctuation of heat. So when you turn on your lights, if it's T5s, it generates heat. And then during the night, the temperatures goes down because you're turning off the lights. And you're having like this huge hold on. So you're gonna have like this fluctuation of temperatures, and the seedlings don't like that. Especially the cabbage and the broccoli. Sorry, had a comment I had to remove. I hope I said everything I wanted to say. So the lights, the heat, they have to be a certain height. So the light has to be a certain height from your seedlings. I still haven't found the perfect setup. From what I'm learning, you have to be able to fit in your hand. There's supposed to be some space under your hand. So space here, and you're fine. I did that. And all my kales, all my Chinese cabbage died. But my Swiss chard survived. My fennels survived. My spinach survived. But not the kale and not the Chinese cabbage. So I have no idea what I did wrong. Like my Swiss chard are beautiful. My fennel is amazing right now, but I can't seem to grow kale or cabbages. It just doesn't work. That could be a problem. Yeah, they here too. So a couple of tricks. I don't know if I'll be able to invest in row covers this year, but I am gonna try the broken eggshells around the bottom of the cabbages. I'm gonna try the diatomaceous earth on the cabbages, and if I have to, uh, I'll in, I'll try to find a way because I don't know if I'll be able to invest on those row covers this year. But I did see someone said that if they do one row of cabbage, one row of marigold, one row of cabbage, one row of marigold, and have like a couple of rows like that, um, they have less pests. So if you want to try to grow marigold this year, to see if it can help you out. But definitely every year I have to manually remove all the eggs. So I'm really hoping that I'll be able to save my brassica family in my Swiss chard, my spinach. But I didn't do this years prior. I have sowing calendars to have uh, spinach a couple of times during the year. So if ever it gets eaten, I can just like give it to the chickens and then resow new seedlings to have a good rolling inventory of that. I'm going to do that with spinach, lettuce, dill. Anyways, I have a couple of sowing like that so that as soon as I see a damaged leaf from my Swiss chard, there's like this miner that bores into my spinach and my Swiss chard. I remove all the damaged leaf, gives them to the chickens, and at one point during the season, those pests go away and I can start harvesting my Swiss chard again. But it is what it is. So that's one of the things that I want to improve, is to have that food forest around my property so that the good bugs can stay and those bugs would eat out the bad ones. But I know that it's going to take a couple of years to establish a good bug population. I would love that the squash bugs can go somewhere else. The cucumber beetles can go somewhere else. The vine borers, same thing. The miners, the little that bores inside the onions, garlic, Swiss chard, beets leaves, and all that, they can just go away and like have fun somewhere else. But they love my garden. My dream was to have my Indian runner ducks loose in July in my in-ground garden. That was my dream. Because once your seedlings are established, I'm not talking about little seedlings, I'm talking about really well-established. The ducks, Indian runner ducks, are lightweight. They will just eat the slugs. They will not eat your seedlings. They're not like chickens. This is the number one reason why I got the Indian runner ducks, because they're lightweight and they eat pests, slugs especially. But that dream got crushed so bad. But when I catch them, I bring it to them. Paper wasps. Last year I had a lot of new buzzing friends that I never seen before. I saw bees, honeybees. There was bumblebees. A lot of bumblebees last year. I never saw that much. It's probably because of all my sunflowers. But there was like these little buzzing looking bees that were everywhere. That it's the first year that I see them. This is why I have so many sunflowers and so many flowers, because I want all of those wasps, like little tiny bees, to come here. I would love that the population of the pest would like go down. We eat them, not the bug. I saw a video. It was last fall. Um, Simple Living Alaska was harvesting all their cabbages, and they were doing pickled mix vegetables. And so they cut all their cabbages and they put them in 5-gallon buckets, and there was salt in them, water, and all of that. They were doing all those things. And then you see them grabbing their once they washed all the salt away, like they remove everything, and once like they were grabbing their cabbage, and there was like spiders. It was like, ugh. There was different like little critters in their sauerkraut process. I was like, juicy, more proteins. It is amazing when you sit down. Like I need to create like a bench for me, at least one or two places, because when I sit down and I harvest all my food and I just slow down and pay attention to everything that's there, there's so many bussing things. There's so many things crawling everywhere. It's amazing to see them work. Like little attack health. Jumping on their things. Like the more I sit still and look at them, if I compare year after year after year, like I do have now perennials that comes back every year. I have sunflowers that are established because squirrels sell them everywhere around my property. So those are the first ones that pop out. I have some marigolds that come back every year because they resow themselves. I have cosmos, same thing. What else comes back up? I have some roses, wild roses now. I have a couple of things that come back every calendula. So I find that when the seeds like germinate after the spring thaws, those flowers are the most beautiful. And the more I sit down every year, I see more and more newer things. There are also new pests that comes. Like I had the lined cucumber beetle. But last year, I saw my first dotted cucumber beetle. I also had a new beetle. What do you call those? I had Japanese beetle arrive on year 3, 2 or 3. I did not have Japanese beetles. And now, because every year I go at war with them, the population is going down. And I saw somewhere that if you have sacrificial plants, your Japanese beetle will not go further onto your land. So I am going, and as soon as I build my last raised bed gardens, I'm creating a hedge mixed with raw wild rose and raspberries. Raspberries are their cocaine. They love those leaves. So I'm going to have sacrificial plants in front of my house, and they're not going to touch the rest. So I have in the middle of my land right now, so I have like 5 or 6 garden beds, and then I have a wall of raspberries. And I never find them further than that. They never go in my garden, in the back in-ground garden. So without knowing it, I created a good area for them to snack on. And when I see them, I literally, I have like a 5-gallon bucket with some soap, and I just pop them in that bucket, and I just give them to the chickens, and they have so much fun. But I never see them on a bigger scale because I did that every year. Yes, slow down to speed of nature in your garden is such a great, yeah, especially with a glass of wine or coffee. I used to have a bench. I no longer, like, it broke. So I have to recreate it so that I can sit down more and more. Okay, guys, I stayed 15 minutes more. I could talk about this on and on and on. I wouldn't shut up. So I'm going to keep some details for next Sunday. I will have a video tomorrow coming out. And if you're still here, Marilyn, it's the second video of the series that I'm working on the soil blockers. I did have some comments and questions, more. So I addressed those questions in other tips and tricks. And I'm working on a couple. I made a list of everything I want to talk about. But tomorrow's another soil blocking video coming out. And I will see you guys and chat with you guys on Sunday. Take care, everyone. Bye. Bon appetit. Have a wonderful day as well, Robert. Bye.